Tony D and Little Joan with a screenwriter's rant on Cellar Door, starring Larry Fishburne, but mostly starring this couple as a young couple trying to buy a house when Larry Fishburne sells them the hugest, awesome house for next to nothing or nothing. Under one condition, they never go into the cellar. Smash like and subscribe. Thank you for smash liking and subscribing. Check out my books. Links in the description. Comedy Horror in South Jersey. It's the Pineys, books 1 through 15. Available at Amazon.com. Don't forget, Kindle Unlimited is free. So the couple moves into the house, but of course, there's something in the cellar, and they want to open the door, and the wife doesn't, and rated R for adult situations. But something's in the house, and they can hear it scuttling around, and so basically it's one long tease. It's one long tease about the cellar. What's in it? Should we open it? Would you open it? Would I open it? It's totally contrivance. It's a total contrivance. It should be, at best, a Twilight Zone episode. But instead, they're going to make a 90-minute movie, I guess. So, first act, they're looking for a house. Second act, Larry Fishburne gives them this amazing house, tells them, everything's cool, just never go into the cellar. They agree to these rules. And at first, they're fine with it. They have an amazing house, but they keep hearing things. They keep thinking about the cellar door, and eventually, they break in somehow. And what's in there? I don't know. You think it's going to live up to your expectations? I would say no. Because it can't. Right? So what do you... Think a minute. What are you picturing in the cellar? I'm picturing vampires. I like vampires. Will it be vampires? Probably not. And then I'll be disappointed. Maybe they'll never show what's in the cellar. They'll hint at it. There'll be a darkness, but they never show it. That's even more disappointing. This is the problem with a contrivance like this. It works for a half-hour movie. It doesn't work for a 90-minute. Because a 90-minute to 2-hour movie is an investment. And you want closure. A half-hour short film, that's different. You don't necessarily need closure in that. You need closure in a movie that you invested 90 minutes in. Some people need closure for that half hour, but I think you can get away with it in a half-hour TV show. It's like, oh, they never should have bought the house. Yeah, about, I'll say 40 minutes into this, we're going to know they shouldn't have bought the house. Or taken the house, or whatever. And then you got another 45, 60 minutes to slog through. That's the problem. In a half hour, by the time you set up how they get the house, why they wanted a house, why Larry Fishburne's giving it to them, and then show the house, and then they're unnerved, you're already almost at 25 minutes, and you could just end it like, oh yeah, they shouldn't have bought the house. But see, when you do 90 minutes, see, you got 15 minutes of the wind-up, and then they find Larry Fishburne, and then he gives them the house, and they agree to take the house, and there are various reasons why, and then at first the house is great, but then they start hearing spooky stuff. You're like, oh yeah, they shouldn't have taken this house. But now you're at a half hour, and now it's not going to end. They have to drag it out for another hour. That's the problem with this movie. That, and it won't live up to your expectations. What's down there? They mention Larry Fishburne's family. Is his family down there? Maybe. I don't know how they're surviving. No one's feeding them anymore. Larry Fishburne's gone. Is Larry Fishburne down there? Maybe he secretly lives down there. I don't know. What I do know is, no matter what they reveal to be down in the cellar, it won't live up to my expectations. And if they reveal nothing, if they do one of these 70s endings where it's like, oh, I'm going to open the cellar, and he goes down there and there's a scream and the movie ends, that's not going to be very satisfying either. The cellar has to become like a metaphor for something. I don't think that's going to work in this monster movie. I don't think people who want to go see monster movies want to see that kind of movie. This isn't the 70s. In the 70s, you maybe could have done something like that. Would have been kind of cool. But the way they're going to market this is, oh, there's a big monster in the basement. Except you're not going to see it. See, they don't even show any hint of the monster in the trailer. You know, it could be that one of them has gone insane and the other, the wife, is still sane, and then the man breaks down there only to discover, I don't know, radon, and he dies. It's just too contrived a premise. I don't think you can make it work. It's really just a tease to get you to go see the movie, in my view. Back in the 90s, they would make movies like this, and they could kind of work because they were just cranking out movies. Again, what a lot of Hollywood guys do is they watch The Twilight Zone, and then they say, ooh, that's a good idea. I'm going to steal that. And then they make a 90-minute version of that Twilight Zone episode, only they change some of the contrivance enough that they can't get sued. So, yeah, I don't like this. I'm going to say no. No, big no from me, dog. Now let's see if there's a write-up on this that changes my mind. I kind of doubt it. Here's another movie called The Cellar. I bet it's the same kind of movie. Looking for a fresh start after a miscarriage, a couple finds themselves being gifted a house of their dreams with one caveat. They can never open the cellar door. Whether they can live without knowing triggers shocking consequences. Yeah, it's such a contrivance. Director Vaughn Stein, writers Sam Scott, Laurie Evans, and Laurie Evans Taylor. I just don't think he can make it work. Not for me, anyway. I don't hate it, but I don't want to watch it. Anyhow, that's it for me, Tony D and Little Joan. Check us out on the green site, the orange site, and the black site for more videos. The more spicy video where Joan gets very based. I will be at the Hamilton Historical Society of Atlantic County. That's in Mays Landing tonight on the Pine Barrens Byway, right there in the Presbyterian Church for my talk on how to hunt the Jersey Devil. I believe the Historical Society meeting starts at 7. I think the talk starts at 7:30 because I had 7 down on my schedule, but I think the talk may not start until 7:30, but I should check out the Historical Society. I'm going to be there ready to go by 7. And then on Thursday, I'll be back in Marcus Hook, PA, Pirate Country, as we call it, at 5 p.m. at the library there for my talk on how to hunt the Jersey Devil. Hope to see you there. We'll see you in the next one.